Hello, this is my review of The Dreamer by Cliff Richard. It took me 3 days to read his autobiography book. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but I will. The book I bought isn't a hardback edition, that's why the cover is very flexible. The paper quality leaves much to be desired, only photos are printed on thick pages. Other pages with text are made of super cheap material. By the way, in my opinion, there are too few illustrations in the book. Also, I expected to see rare photos that are difficult to find on the internet, but it turned out that I already know almost all the pictures. My favorite chapters are from 2 to 8. I'm more interested in how Cliff began his musical career. In these chapters, he gives a very detailed explanation of how he made it all happen. There you'll find many memories about his youth, school days, family life, relationships with girls and friends. You truly become aware of what events had a great impact on his personality and what people inspired him to sing. In the following chapters, the narration becomes really boring for me personally, because Cliff talks a lot about religion, I'm not into it at all, about him singing gospel songs with orchestra and so on. I like the early version of Cliff, when he was a rock and roller. Anyway, respect to Cliff for giving the chapters creative titles. In the first place, I'm the Shadows fan, so I bought this book to find out new facts about them rather than Cliff. Well, I did. Actually, I wish there was more information about this wonderful band in the book, because they had a huge and significant impact on Cliff's biography. There would be no Shadows without Cliff, and at the same time there would be no Cliff without the Shadows. In my opinion, they have never got enough credit for what they have done. They wrote so many songs for Cliff, but still wearing his shadow literally on stage and figuratively. No doubt, Cliff's biography is very rich and he managed to compose it rather well here. He doesn't go into details much, but at the same time doesn't write too briefly. There are a lot of phrases and quotes from the dialogues between Cliff and his producers, friends, etc. The direct speech makes this book so alive and real, as if I'm standing there listening to the conversation. Another thing I like about this book, Cliff is rather honest with us readers. I'm not giving any spoilers, but some facts of his personal life surprised me, not in a very positive way. He also gives his opinion on the show business, advantages and disadvantages of being a pop star. The book is written simply, but at the same time beautifully. With the help of unusual adjectives and verbs, Cliff describes accurately different events and people he met. Yes, he shares his experience about meeting other musicians, David Bowie and the Beatles, for example. One thing it lacks though, the information about how Cliff spent his free time. Or maybe he just didn't have any, because while reading the book it seems that he was completely immersed in his musical career. I can say that sometimes the book is funny, sometimes sad and sometimes even philosophical. Dreaming is so necessary and useful. If great people hadn't dreamed of success, they wouldn't have achieved it in the end. Of course, you should not only dream but also take steps to achieve your goal. Even if you have some talent from birth, it needs to be developed. Even if you get a chance, you should be able to take advantage of it and not miss it. All my life I've been a dreamer, some might say a lucky one. That's what it says in the book. But what does lucky mean? Lucky people create, notice and act upon the chance opportunities in their lives. Being in the right place at the right time is actually all about being in the right state of mind. This is a quote by Richard Wiseman. I agree that luck lies in the ability to be open to new ideas and not be afraid to take risks. Cliff and the Shadows demonstrate this statement very well. For me, Epilogue is one of the main parts in every book. Here I read it scrupulously and was disappointed with it not being very emotional. I would like to pay special attention to the full discography of Cliff Richard presented in the book. All in all, I give this book 8 out of 10. Mostly I enjoyed reading it, in addition learned many new things and got inspired. The book is worth reading, especially if you're Cliff Richard and the Shadows fan. Here I don't rate Cliff as a person and a musician. I am reviewing this particular book, how it is written, how it looks and whether it is well composed. With regard to Cliff Richard's biography itself, I'm sure everyone will form their own opinion about him after reading it. And let's agree to disagree.